The Speaker and the President are in a face-off over how to save the nation from economic disaster. The U.S. is likely weeks away from a deadline to raise its borrowing limit to keep us from going into default. So far, Biden and McCarthy have not been able to agree on any sort of solution. This afternoon on the House floor, Speaker McCarthy finally unveiled Republicans' plan to raise the debt limit while cutting spending and replacing key elements of the president's agenda.
This responsible legislation will be led by our budget chairman, Jody Arrington. Would responsibly raise the debt limit into next year and provide more than $4.5 trillion in savings. Our bill would actually claw back billions of dollars of unspent COVID money. Our proposals also repeal Biden's army of 87,000 IRS agents. It will end the green giveaways for companies. We would prohibit President Biden's student loan giveaway for the wealthy. President Biden has a choice. Come to the table and stop playing partisan political games.
As that was happening, President Biden was speaking to union members in Maryland, and no surprise, he wasted no time calling out McCarthy.
2 days ago, the Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, went to Wall Street to describe the MAGA economic vision for America. Do you think he told the wealthy and powerful that it's about time they step up and start paying a fair share? Not a word. Instead, he proposed huge cuts in imports and very important programs that millions of hard-working and middle-class Americans count on. All the while, he and the MAGA officials are separately pushing for more tax giveaways and overwhelming benefits to the wealthiest Americans. Here's what's really dangerous. MAGA Republicans in Congress are threatening to default on the national debt unless I agree to all these wacko notions they have.
Meanwhile, the Supreme Court has extended access to a key abortion medication for 2 more days. A decision on a lower court ruling limiting the access to the drug, it's now expected by the end of Friday. We're also following the latest report of gun violence involving people who made simple mistakes while just living their lives. In the latest incident, the victims were 2 Texas cheerleaders. My colleague Morgan Chesky has more.
3 shootings in 1 week: Missouri, New York, and tonight, Elgin, Texas. All tied to seemingly innocent mistakes, approaching the wrong car or home.
I'm Peyton Washington on Woodlands Elite Generals.
High school cheerleader Peyton Washington, the latest victim, after a stranger opened fire on her and 3 friends in the parking lot of a grocery store outside Austin.
It was unfortunate. These girls were just trying to get home.
After one of the teens mistakenly approached the wrong vehicle, police say a man began shooting multiple times. Police arresting Pedro Telo Rodriguez Jr., charged with deadly conduct, a 3rd-degree felony, as Washington remains in the ICU. The latest shooting comes days after a Kansas City teen was shot in the head after going to the wrong home to pick up his younger brothers. The 84-year-old suspect pleading not guilty today to first-degree assault and armed criminal action and was released on $200,000 bond. Ralph Yarl is now out of a hospital, his family releasing this new photo, calling him a walking miracle. Meanwhile, tonight in upstate New York, Kevin Monahan pleading not guilty to murder and remanded into jail without bail. Monahan's accused of fatally shooting 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis. She was in a car that accidentally pulled into his driveway, looking for a friend's house.
For this man to sit on his porch and fire at a car with no threat is just angers me so badly.
And today we heard from Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, who has been fighting for stricter gun safety laws since the Sandy Hook school shooting.
We are becoming a heavily armed nation, so fearful and angry and hair-trigger anxious that gun murders are now just the way in which we work out our frustrations. Cheerleaders don't need to be shot when they walk into the wrong car. Kids shouldn't fear for their life when they go to school or when they pick up their siblings from a house in the neighborhood. We can do better. We can adjust the dials in order to decide not to live in this dystopia.